Boom. This is on. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here with the Goddess Wellness Club and Zeenat. She's going to be helping us to organizing our life. And well, let introduce myself for a moment. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Lynn. I am a wellness coach. And it's been almost a year that Monica Tirado, Graciela Monjora, and myself got together and created a 30-day reset, where we taught women how to eat, think, and move in a healthy way. As a result, they became the best version of themselves. We did it twice, and everyone just loved it. And then when it was over, there was like, okay, and now what? What are you going to do with me? And then that's how we create the club. With the mission of helping women achieve their full potential through accountability and motivation, that's when we create the private page through Facebook and WhatsApp. So, as I said before, if you're interested in becoming part of this amazing collective of women and participate in challenges, classes, and workshops, please fill out the form that I'm sharing with you in the comments. That way, we can give your information, we can have your information and make it part of it, make you part of it. You don't want to miss it, because next reset is going to be at the beginning of next year. And as part of the workshop, our amazing speaker is offering a 10-minute discovery call for those of you who are interested in talking, more private with Zeenat. Her calendar is going to be available at the comments as well. And let me tell you this, that as a coach, I always help my clients with time management, because that's the foundation of changing habits. I am so excited and grateful to have Zeenat with us tonight. Zeenat is a professional organizer.
Yeah, and what's cool is there's 16,000 entrepreneurs that are not
everyone
alone.
Get on.
And, I still
on. I don't know who's doesn't have. Thank you. Zeenat is a professional organizer and productivity consultant. She founded Firefly Bridge in 2017 with the mission to teach others how to simplify and organize their lives. And just like she did, to live a life that feels unburdened and full of joy. So hi, Zeenat. She's right here with me, with us.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for being here tonight and guide us on how to make our home calm and relaxing again. So give it up for Zeenat. Hi, Zeenat. So happy for you to be here.
Thank you so much. And hi, everybody. I want to say first how amazing your group is, Lynn, Monica, and Gracie. You guys give so much to all of us. And since I've joined, I've gotten so much out of this group. It's incredible. So let me get into this topic, because later on, you're going to see why I just mentioned that, how incredible this group is, because it's really, really important. So first of all, just a little bit about, sorry, my computer's, okay. A little bit about myself. As Lynn mentioned, I'm a professional organizer and productivity consultant. And all that means is that I help busy moms organize their homes, their businesses, their time, and their focus using the CLEAR framework, which is the model that I use to help organize all these things, so that they can have the calm spaces and the joy-filled lives they dream of. What tends to hang us up as women and maybe as moms is that it's really difficult to define what this joy-filled means to each of us, because right now we sometimes feel in such a state of anxiety. So it's hard to understand really, what does that mean? Where do I need to be to feel joy in my everyday life ongoing? So that was me years ago. And let me just tell you a little bit about me so you understand why I do this for a living and why I love it so much. After the birth of each of my kids, and we have 3 kids, I struggled with postpartum depression, and it left me feeling overwhelmed. My home and my schedule became cluttered beyond control. I couldn't really organize myself. I couldn't take time to do things. I was never really fully present with my family when I wanted to be, and I wanted to be, but I couldn't focus, or at events and things like that. So as I recovered, with the help of medication and lots of support, I realized that I needed to reduce, I needed to organize, and I needed to simplify everything to get to the calm spaces and that joy-filled life that I was dreaming of. Simplicity became my mantra, and it still is. So at that point, I researched, I studied, and eventually I trained as a professional organizer. I joined NAPO, and I continued to study and learn about this because I was filled with stress, and I wanted to get out of that state, that stress-filled state. I wanted to be clear. So I developed over the years the CLEAR framework for organizing and productivity, which I now use to teach others how to organize. So as Lynn mentioned, Firefly Bridge's mission is to teach others how to simplify and organize, just like I did, so that they can live a life that's unburdened and full of joy. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to cover where stress comes from. I want to talk a little bit about how to remove stress from your home, and that's what the CLEAR framework is all about. And then at the end, I'm going to talk to you about some simple strategies to simplify. My clients often ask me about these very specific things: what to organize first for the biggest impact in my home, what's the secret to meal planning, and how to stick to something once we get started. And I think that's tricky for all of us. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about all of that. So stress and your home. So stress comes, if you think about it, from not knowing exactly what to do next. Researchers at UCLA did a study a few years ago involving suburban families with parents with kids, where they asked the mom and the dad to do a video tour of their house. So taking their phones around or a video camera, they would tour their house, and each of them would talk about what they were showing. What they found was that when the moms would use words like cluttered, overwhelmed, or unfinished, their cortisol levels went up. And the cortisol levels stayed high enough above the threshold that their stress, the prediction was that their stress wouldn't be reduced for the rest of the day. So imagine if you come into your house and you're saying cluttered, you're thinking overwhelmed, you're thinking not finished, and that level of stress stays like that for the rest of the day. How do you get out of that state? Dads, not so much, which was pretty interesting. And there's also research from DePaul University that says that clutter, which they defined as an overabundance of possessions that collectively create chaotic and disorderly living spaces. Basically, what we think of as clutter is a bunch of stuff that's creating chaos in our homes. That clutter does, in fact, affect our mental health, which I think we all know anecdotally. We feel it, right? When we're in our homes and we see stuff piled around us and it's just, we're not comfortable there, it does affect our mental health. But I also want to say that there's a distinction between clutter and the amount of stuff that you own, right? You can own a lot of stuff and not be burdened by it. It's not clutter because, well, especially if it's well organized and you have space for it. The problem happens when clutter as a mass, it begins to distract you. It's what you see and feel when you're in your home, even if you're not actively thinking about it. So things like, and this is beyond the home, I'm thinking of things other than within your home. Why do we feel stressed? From deadlines. Well, if you were sure you'd meet a deadline, you wouldn't feel stressed about it. You'd know exactly what to do. If you had a medical diagnosis and you knew you could cure it by doing X, Y, and Z, there wouldn't be so much stress about it because you know exactly what to do next. But then comes clutter. If we don't know exactly what to do next to get rid of the clutter once and for all, that's when we start to feel stress. And what often happens is that people will declutter something. For me, it was when the kids were little, I would declutter their toy room, for example. So when they were very little, lots of little pieces, toys, developmental things. Declutter, organize, had nice little piles. Within a week, it was back to toys everywhere. And I couldn't understand, like if I didn't want to spend an hour putting toys away every day, but I couldn't understand, how do I get to the point where this either it doesn't bother me or I get it under control. So that's where I started my whole journey towards decluttering. So over the past few years, I've worked to develop a model to help simplify organizing and productivity. And that's the CLEAR framework. And the CLEAR framework helps to reduce the stress of organizing your home, your time, and your focus, because we do it very progressively using these 5 steps: clarify, limit, edit, assign, and review. And we'll go through that. So you'll know exactly what to do next when your home feels chaotic. That's how we reduce the stress. Now, tonight we're focusing on your home, but I use the CLEAR framework to do the same when I'm working with productivity with clients. It's the same method, it's the same model. We just attack it a little differently. So I just want to mention that I think I'm a kind of a minimalist, I think. And to me, that means that I want to simplify everything. I just want to simplify everything. And like I mentioned before, and a side effect of that is that I also end up simplifying the stuff in my home, the stuff on my calendar, the stuff that I focus on, and how I do each of those things. I simplify that as well. Everything that I share with you tries to get to simplicity. That's just my way. And I'm not saying that you should be a minimalist. Like I said, it's not about minimalism. It's about being okay with what you have. So, but that's why I approach everything, and you'll keep hearing me say simple, simple, simplify, make it simple, because that's my approach to doing this. So step 1 of the CLEAR framework is clarity. So I ask you to, if my first consultation with you, when we do our first session, I ask you to tell me what your dream space is. We're working on your home. What's your dream home? But not only what you want it to look like, also what you want it to feel like. Think of an ideal moment in the future that you want to achieve. For me, and you have to be very specific, you have to describe it. Okay, for me, when my kids were little and I was starting through all this, I always had in my mind, wow, I would love to cook dinner with my husband in the kitchen. The 3 kids have taken a bath, they've already eaten, they're in their pajamas and they're playing quietly over here. And we're listening to some jazz and we each have a glass of wine and we're just really enjoying our time together, relax, cooking dinner. And that was my ideal. That's what I kept in my head. It's a type of visualization, right? And if you think about top athletes, Olympic gymnasts, Olympic divers, figure skaters, you'll see them before they do their little routine, they kind of go through it. You'll see them do the motions and they're visualizing their routines, and it helps them to perform better. But no amount of visualization will make me a top-notch figure skater, right? I have to have goals. I have to have the steps I need to follow that. So I can have a dream. I can know exactly what I'm visualizing. I know that's where I want to be, and that's really important. But then I also need to have goals, and goals to me are short-term, really short-term, like 1 to 3 weeks. If I can't achieve something within 1 to 3 weeks, then it's a dream. It's too long. You have to be able to achieve those goals within 1 to 3 weeks. That's what you focus on. That's what you achieve and accomplish. And then you move on to the next set of goals. Beyond that, a goal is not enough to get started with. You have to have the very specific, tiny steps that you need to take to make forward movement. And that's all it takes, are those tiny little steps to start moving forward. I'll talk about this again later on, but that's the beginning of how we bust through the steps. We start tiny and we accomplish tiny step by tiny step by tiny step. So the second step of the CLEAR framework is to limit. Limit is tricky for a lot of people, but here's what I will always tell my clients. You have to keep only what can fit comfortably in your space, and it's some tough love. But if something can't fit easily in your space, it will cause you frustration. So what we want to do here in this limit step is to find what's just enough for you and your family, okay? You want to avoid the clutter feeling. And to the moms with little kids, I just want to say that fewer toys than necessary are what you need. But that goes into the tiny steps. The other thing here is that if we continue thinking, what if, that can cause clutter, okay? And what I mean by what if is, boy, I know I have 3 pens already, but what if all 3 of them break and I really need this? I'm going to keep it. I spent good money on it. I'm going to keep it. What if I might need it? That can cause clutter. And there are ways to get beyond that what if, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a little bit. Easy out, easy in. Think of every cabinet, every drawer in your house, every closet, every shelf, every bookcase. If you can't take it out easily, use it, and then put it back in easily, it's a problem. That's our goal here, is to make everything easy for you to take out and put back in. If I want to use a pot to cook in, but I have to take out 5 other pots and a frying pan and a couple of lids to get that pot out, how often do you think I'm going to use that pot? And also, how frustrated am I going to be every time I have to pull that pot out and to clean it and put it away? So easy out, easy in. And the last thing is time. We need to limit where we spend our time by thinking about productivity, by being productive. And I won't talk much about this here, other than to say that when I talk to clients about why they feel they never have enough time in their days, we actually do a time audit. And time is often spent, as I think you guys all know, time is often spent on things that will keep us away from the things that cause us stress, but it will keep us from facing those things face on. So things like social media, for some people it's TV, for some people it's work. They would rather work than think about, how do I attack this thing that's bothering me in my home? It's just too difficult. So everybody's a little different. The third step in the clear model is edit. And this is what most people think of when they think of home organizing, right? So to help you with this step, here's like 3 tools that I use with my clients that I want to share with you. The first is choose what to keep, not what to get rid of. We can start with things that are broken, that kind of thing. But what's most important for us to help choose and to get through, you know, what to do about sentimental items and how to continue really reducing what we own, or at least really organizing what we own and decluttering, is to choose what to keep. Choose what you love, what you need, and what you use. And then you can easily remove the rest, right? It seems easy, but those are 3 things that you really have to keep in mind. Choose what to keep, not what to get rid of. Stick to a hard deadline for fixing. So if you find something that's broken or a button that's missing from a shirt, and you put it to the side, yeah, I'm going to fix that button. That way I can keep the shirt that I really love. If you don't give yourself a time limit, that shirt could stay on a table or in your closet for months and months and months. And all it's doing there is it's clutter. And every time you look at that shirt, you're going to remember, oh, I have to fix that shirt. And what does that do? That causes stress. So give yourself a hard limit. Look into what it would take to fix it, to sell it, to whatever. If you think you can do it in 2 weeks, you give yourself that limit. And if it's not done after 2 weeks, it needs to go. And then the last thing is what to do about sentimental items. Sentimental items are really difficult, we know. The way that we deal with that is to think about, does it fit in my future life, in my dream, my ideal moment? Does that item, do I see that item in my house when I'm in that state? The other thing is, you are still a Princeton graduate, even without the paper diploma. You are still an award winner, even without that physical award. Your kids are still trophy winners, even without the 15 soccer trophies that they have in their bedroom, that you've kept in their bedroom, even though they're in college. Okay, so that's a reminder. I want to keep that in your head, because that's one that can help you get through those physical things that are holding you back. When you are grieving a past moment in your life or past phase in your life, when your kids were really small and you wanted to keep everything that they made, all those art projects, all those special toys, we go through those and we keep the really special. And of course, you'll start, when I ask, well, what are the special ones? It's, 3 boxes full of special ones, of course. We go through them again. Tell me the story behind this one. Tell me the story behind the ones that really matter. You'll see the ones that really matter. And those are the ones that you'll keep. The others will slowly move out of your house. And you'll remember those moments. You can take pictures. You can look back at the videos that you've taken of your kids over the years. Those are all there. The memories are all there. You don't need the physical, every physical reminder of that time. And the last thing about sentimental items is, does it bring you joy, or does it bring guilt or sadness or pain? It's, for me, and I start with myself because I went through this. I was keeping things that were making me feel guilty, or that brought me sadness, but I felt, oh, well, it's sentimental, I have to keep it. But if it's not bringing a joyful memory with it, it's best to say goodbye to it, to let it move on so that you can move forward. Okay. The fourth step of the clear framework is assign. This is assign a home to everything, but keep it simple. Use containers only when you really need to use containers. For little things in drawers, for example, yes, use containers. Do you need a container for every kitchen towel? No, you have a drawer. The drawer is the container. So keep it super simple. There's something that I call the inner sphere and the outer sphere. The inner sphere is simply the things that you must have at your fingertips that you use at least once a week. Those have to be in the prime real estate of your space. In your kitchen, that means your daily dishes, your silverware, mugs, etc. Your outer sphere is the stuff that you use much less often, but that you use at least once a year. So your mixer, your special dishes, even though I have a problem with special dishes, but your special dishes, you pull them at least once a year, they should be kept further away from your daily. So upper shelves, cabinets, let's say in your dining room, if you have a buffet, maybe they're there. You need to create space in your kitchen for your inner sphere first. That has to be primary. And again, your inner sphere, easy in, easy out. It can't be your inner sphere and you've shoved everything in there so you have space for your fancy dishes, but it takes you forever to take out your daily dishes or your pots to cook in every day. Okay, so inner sphere and outer sphere. And then the last thing is that whatever you assign, it has to be functional. So store stuff where you use it. Store towels in your bathroom, spare towel in your bathroom, or store it in a closet that's really close by that bathroom. Same with toilet paper, for example. Store as much toilet paper as you can in the bathroom. Why is it stored in the garage when you need it in your bathroom? I had a client recently, and I just want to show, because she said, tell the story to everybody, because she was, it took her a while to understand this, but she lives in a small condo, and she's downsized many, many times, and she's retiree, and she lives in a small condo, but she had a set of good dishes that have been passed down. She loved them, but she had to store them. She stored them in her bedroom because there wasn't any space in her kitchen or her dining room. And I questioned her gently about, this is in the bedroom. Wouldn't you prefer to have this in the kitchen? And she said, oh, yes. Like, it hadn't even occurred to her that that's where it needs to be. One, because it was easier for her to use it at the times of the year that she wanted to use it. But secondly, because they brought her joy to see those dishes. But because they were stored in a closet in her bedroom in a box, she never saw them except for that one time a year when her son came to help her take everything out. So we made space in her kitchen, in a glass front cabinet, so she could see that very well. And other things left the condo, so she could have space for that. So functional. Okay, the fifth step, the last step, is review. It's important to view your home with new eyes really often. So, one of the things that we do is, let's go outside, take a 2-second walk around, the front, and then come back in as if you're a visitor. What are the things that you see as a visitor? Often we get comfortable with the things that are on our tables or on our kitchen counters, and we don't really see them. You don't really see them for clutter. The other trick is to take a picture with your phone of your kitchen counters or any particular room. Then when you look at that picture, you really see. When you're standing in the room, sometimes you don't. When you look at that picture, you're going to see where the clutter is. You're going to see the things that you don't like to see. And then you can start to edit those. It's normal also to edit multiple times. Once is usually not enough. Once is the beginning, because things will change. Your job, your family, your lifestyle, your situation, your thought process changes over time. For me, it's a continuing process. When I say I'm kind of a minimalist, I'm getting there because I keep seeing how much better I'm living with less. And so I want to get further and further and further. So edit multiple times. And when you do, you'll be better prepared to adapt when things do change. If you need to move, if you need to start a new job, having edited multiple times makes it, one, practically easier for you to move, let's say, or practically easier to pack things up and move them away, or to, move clothes out of your, whatever the case, move clothes out of your closet, whatever the case may be. But you'll be much easier to adapt. So that's how I approach, and we're at 7:30, and I want to make sure that I leave time, and I want to respect you guys' time as well. I'm not going to keep this too long. That's how I approach organizing when I go to see a client during our sessions. And I don't sit and give them a presentation like this. I don't need to. It comes as we start to do things. My very first assessment with someone over Zoom or in their home, we talk about, well, what do you want to do with this room? And often they'll tell me things like, oh, I want it to look like a blah, blah, blah. I want it to feel like a beach house. I want it to feel like my vacation home. That already starts the dream, right? The dream. And then we talk about what's the ideal situation. And it's, oh, I want my girlfriends to come here and just, we can relax and watch TV. Or I want my kids to be hanging out with us playing a game while I'm reading a book. That's how we start. And then we continue on with the rest of the steps. And finally, review is how they maintain their space after I've left. The goal here is that I go in to see a client, we work together for a while, we get the process done, and I never have to go back again, because now they know how to do it. Now, if anything is cluttered, they know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what I should do here. I know exactly how to edit, how to deal with the sentimental stuff, how to deal with stuff that needs to be fixed. It's no longer I don't know what to do next, so now I feel stress. So the next thing I want to cover are just some simple strategies to simplify. And these are things that my clients ask me about a lot, okay? This is a good way to get into that organizing and simplifying mood, that feeling. So the first thing is to adopt a minimalist approach. Again, that doesn't mean become a minimalist, but have that minimalist approach. Think before you buy anything or bring anything into your house or accept a gift. Okay, I'm not saying don't accept gifts. If somebody gives you a gift, of course you're going to accept a gift. But someone asks you, what do your kids want for Christmas? Think long and hard, right? Do you want another Lego set to sit in your house, or do you want an experience for that? So that's all that means. Also think hard before you put something away again. So the other day I was folding laundry, and laundry for my kids too. I was folding some laundry for the boys, and there were a couple of t-shirts in there. I thought, why are we keeping these? Like they use them as pajama shirts, but nobody really likes them. They wear them because they're there, but they have actual pajama shirts. They didn't love them. I didn't want them. Why am I keeping them? And it's causing more laundry. So before I put it away, we talked about them and it was okay. Let's get rid of these. The other thing I want to say about the minimalist approach, there are two guys who call themselves the minimalists, and you can find them online everywhere. They've also written a book and all that kind of thing. Oh, they have a documentary on Netflix too, The Minimalists. So they came up, or they call this rule their 2020 rule. And a lot of organizers use this rule. A lot of people dealing with productivity also use this rule. The 2020 rule is, if you can find it within 20 minutes of where you are, and it costs you $20 or less, then okay, it's okay to get rid of it. You don't have to keep it as a what if. That can help you with a lot of things like extra cords, extra, phone chargers, or things that are inexpensive. They're trying to say things that are inexpensive and that you can get, again, if you don't have space for them in your home and they're causing clutter, then it's okay. Give them to someone who can use them. And you know that if the what if ever comes and you need a phone charger, you can get one cheaply and close to where you are. That doesn't mean that you should just get rid of everything, because that's also not, ecologically good for the earth. But if you're having problems with clutter in your home, find homes for the stuff that you do no longer need. Don't hang on to the what ifs. They cause clutter. Accept good enough. We don't need Instagram worthy homes. And what we need are homes that are calm and comfortable for us. Doesn't matter what they look like to everybody else out there. It matters what it looks like to you, that you're comfortable, that you're happily opening the door and inviting your friends and your neighbors and whatever into your home, and you feel good about it. You're not worried that they're thinking, her furniture doesn't match. If it's comfortable and calm to you, you will exude that confidence, and nobody will think twice about, oh, your couches don't match, because you're going to be welcoming them into your home. It's about having them in your home and feeling the confidence of, my house is good, my place is good, I've got what I need, and I'm happy with how I feel in my home. Find just enough for your family. So this is, to me, this is actually what minimalism is, right? It's not only owning 5 t-shirts and 2 pairs of shoes. It's about finding what's the right amount of stuff for your family. And that depends on your lifestyle, and that can change. When the kids were younger and when I had more time, I was cooking a whole lot more. And so I wanted the latest gadgets, and I was using the best pans, and I had 3 different pans for 3 different types of whatever, crepes or whatever it was, omelets. Then came a time, and now I'm cooking as kind of like a necessity. I don't necessarily enjoy cooking every weeknight. I like to cook, and I like to do it when it makes sense. And I enjoy doing it when it feels like, that night with the wine and the jazz playing and all that. I like that. But I don't need 12 pots and 8 pans to do it anymore. So I simplified. I gave a lot of that stuff away. And now if you open my pot drawer, it's literally 3 pots and 3 pans. That's it. Think simple about everything. If something takes too many steps or it's frustrating, then simplify it. And talk to your spouse, talk to the people who live in your house about this. It's, we will never come into, I will never come into a client and say, well, you need to organize your husband's side of the closet, because, your closet will never be beautiful if his side is all cluttered like that. Everybody is on their own time frame. Everybody's in their own mindset when it comes to clutter. You organize your own stuff, and maybe your young children's stuff, because they're not able to do it, but you can organize their things. You can declutter their things. You can minimize and get to just enough for them and for you. And with any luck, everyone else will begin to see how you're living with an uncluttered space, how you're feeling in an uncluttered space. And they will also join in as much as they're able to. Okay, but simplify everything. Okay, the next thing is my super simple meal planning. Like I said, there are some nights I'll come home and I'll yes, we'll want to cook. I want to cook. I want to cook a full dinner. I want to, have a bunch of vegetables, do the whole thing, take 2 hours to cook and eat and everything. Other days, I just want to be able to, we get home from school, from soccer, from whatever, and know that I have a plan. I know how, dinner will be on the table in 20 minutes or less, So the way that I do this, and you might laugh, but it's ridiculously simple. So I take my calendar on my phone, and on Sunday, I look at the entire week. And let's say we're sitting at the table having pizza or whatever we're doing on Sunday night. And I say, okay, Monday, salmon, guys? Yes. Okay, salmon. And then I pick a vegetable, rainbow chard. And I write salmon, rainbow chard. And then for the guys, I might write bread or something like that, whatever. Tuesday, feel like ground beef. So how about spaghetti meatballs with salad? Okay, spaghetti meatball salad. Wednesday, same thing. I continue for the rest of the week, Friday, Saturday. I try to do it for every meal, including breakfast. My trick for breakfast is that I pretty much have the same thing for breakfast every day. I might change, so it's 2 eggs every day, but I change the vegetable just because we'll often have something left over from the night before, and I eat that. The chard, the squash, the whatever. I eat that with my breakfast and my eggs. Same thing for the kids. We rotate what they have for breakfast, Monday, whatever. But it's a rotation, and it's simple. That's what they like to eat. That's what they're going to eat. As long as it's rotated, it's not every single day, they're okay with that. That's how I simplify it. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's what I do. And so when I look on Sunday and I see, okay, I need salmon for Monday, I need ground beef for Tuesday, and blah, 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 and then I'm going to do a takeout on Thursday, and then Friday's going to be pizza for the kids. So Britta and I will have something else, blah, blah, blah. Then I know exactly what I need to get at the grocery store. And again, I keep it super, super simple. When I think about the grocery, I already know exactly in my mind which aisles I'm going to, which, station I'm stopping at, how much salmon I need, because I don't want to stand at the counter and be like, oh my gosh, how much salmon is enough? How much salmon is not enough? It's what I need. So then what I found, what works for me, and it's different for everybody, what I found is I don't keep a whole lot of stuff in my freezer, a whole lot of meats frozen in my freezer. I'll keep vegetables and things like that in my freezer. But meats, what's worked most easily for me is to have it fresh in the fridge, cook, done in the evening. If I have to defrost something, that's another step. Too many steps, not doing it. So I found what worked for me. That was my super simple meal planning that kept us on track, that kept us from eating out every night, that kept us from, eating baguette with cheese every single night, because I will, if I have nothing else, I will eat that. If I have to think about cooking and preparing and planning, that's what I eat every night. And I know that's not healthy for me, so I try to make it super easy. And the last thing is, clients really often ask me what to organize first for the greatest impact. So that same UCLA study that we talked about in the first, where the moms did the house tour, that study found that, okay, so the answer to what to organize first for greatest impact is your entryway, your hallway, and your garden or your yard. Why? Because those are the first things that you see when you enter your home, and it sets the tone for how you talk about your home and how you think about your home. So if you have kids' shoes all over the doorway from your garage, that's the first thing you see when you come into your house. That sets the tone for how you're going to feel the rest of the evening. Now you've got, that's on your mind already. Remember I said, even if you're not actively thinking about it, that clutter is still affecting you. So definitely those are the areas to approach. And why the garden or the yard? Because that study also found that when those moms focused on clutter, unfinished, overwhelmed, their stress levels went up. When they could focus on a space that had that was clear, calm, and something that had nature in it, whether it was fresh flowers or they looked outside and they said the words patio, garden, yard, their stress levels went down. So garden, yard, hallway, and entryway will have the most impact on your mood. May not have the entire impact on your home as you're thinking, but it will have an impact on your mood, and hopefully that will get you motivated to keep going. All right, and so the last thing I want to tell you about is how to stick to something when you get started. And that's super important, especially in this group, because when I started, when I joined the Goddess Wellness Club, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to stick with it. I wouldn't be able, and I had all kinds of excuses. And Lynn knows I had the shoulder pain, and I had the knee pain, and do I have arthritis? Oh my God, am I too old? And Lynn put me in my place. She said, excuses. Yes. What other excuses do you have? Your shoulder hurts. There are things you can do. Your knee hurts. There are other things you can do. But what science says, okay, so the source of this from Sean Young, who's done a number of studies with other groups, and he's done a lot of research about this. And the framework for how to stick to something is this: science. The first is step ladders, and we talked about this. Tiny steps first, okay? Tiny steps, not steps that are going to take you a week to finish. The immediate step, what you're going to do tonight, what you're going to do tomorrow morning. Community, this is where this group is so beneficial, you guys. And community, not just to be in this group, but you must engage. And you must engage in a way that's productive and motivating and confidence building, not only for you, but for others in the group. Okay. And that's what he says, you must engage. So that's more than just okay. So the first month that I joined, the goal was, the challenge was walking 2 miles daily, I think, for the first week. And then the second week we added on. If I hadn't been posting I took pictures of, the distance, and she said, take a before picture and, talk to us about what you're doing and how many miles you did. And she's counting it from week to week. And Lynn was counting all this for all of us. I would not have stuck to this. It made me accountable to something and to everyone in that group. And I saw how everyone else was doing in that group. It motivated me. And I hope that my postings were also motivating everyone else. As soon as we stop doing that, as soon as we stop engaging encouragingly and productively in the group, it stops being important, which is the third step here. For you to stick to something, it has to be important. So you have to put importance to it, whether it's to motivate others, but things like for health reasons. Well, I have to work out every day because otherwise I'm going to gain weight. 2, my whatever will get worse. I'm trying to fight cholesterol. I'm trying to fight blood pressure. So I need to do this every day. I need to do that every day. Health reasons may be one thing of importance. For the sake of your family's relationships, maybe something else of importance that will get you to stick to something, whether it's I need to sleep more so that I can be better prepared in the morning to have fun with my child instead of be frustrated by everything that he does. Same thing with my spouse. I need to sleep more so we can enjoy, time in the evenings together after the kids go to bed. Otherwise, we put the kids to bed and we just go to sleep. We have no time together. So those are the important things that have to exist. You have to identify what those important things are in order for you to stick to something. Easy. You have to make it easy. And the simple example I have of this are my tennis shoes. If I don't get up, get changed into workout clothes, my workout clothes are right there. I don't have to go dig for them. And my tennis shoes are right there by the couch at the end of my bed. If I don't put those on, I'm going to find all kinds of excuses not to work out, not to go for that walk, not to take the dog out, I need to wash some more dishes. Oh, I need to write this email. Oh, I need to check my phone. Oh, I need to blah, blah, blah. If I don't have those shoes on, it's not going to work. So for me, what made it easy was having my shoes there. So find what makes it easy for you to do something. And that's just the first step. So like getting my shoes on doesn't mean automatically that I'm going to work out, but it's that first tiny step. Everything else will build from that. Neural hacks. Those are just the ways that you think about things. So for example, if you say, I'm a healthy eater, not I'm trying to eat healthy. Because when you're a healthy eater, you're going to eat healthy. When you're trying to eat healthy, there are all kinds of things that could get in the way. Oh, I tried to eat healthy, but I gave in and had pizza tonight. But I'm a healthy eater. I don't usually eat pizza. Okay, I had a slice tonight, but I'm a healthy eater. So tomorrow I'm back on track, whatever the case may be. I'm an exerciser, same thing. Or I'm a leader at work, same thing. No, I'm trying to build my leadership skills. No, I'm a leader. Captivating. This is the rewards, and the rewards that you give yourself for doing something, those tiny steps have to be captivating. So you go back to, how do you find a captivating reward? You go back to what was important, health, or other things. But the reward has to be real and it has to be meaningful to you. So money is a big one, right? Like if I don't work out 3 times this week, I'm going to pay my sister $20 for each of those times. $60 a week goes out the door, and you have to make it happen and it has to be done. That's captivating. Okay. And the last thing is ingrained, and that has to do with habits. And probably Lynn knows a lot more about this than I do, but do it on repeat. It builds habits. And sometimes people ask me like, how is it 21 days to create a habit? Is it, how many times do I do it to make a habit? My feeling is there's no magical number of days or times, because some things are harder than others. For example, I can drink tea instead of coffee for 21 days, no problem. But can I exercise for 21 days? Much harder to do. That's going to be a much harder habit to build, a much harder habit to be ingrained. But once that habit is ingrained, it's more likely that you're going to stick to it. Okay. So I'm finishing up. The very, very last thing I want to say is thank you guys so much for coming and listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. But just because you came here tonight, I have 2 things for you. One is a free folding guide that will teach you, and this is like the fun stuff, right? It'll teach you how to fold stuff, vertically, and how to put them in your closets and your drawers so there's space. And the second thing are 2 decision trees that are going to help you with the questions to ask yourself, to make decisions about what things you should get rid of, what things you should keep, and how to get through the stuff that's really emotional and sentimental to you. All right. So thank you very much, you guys. I hope this was helpful, and tell me your stories, ask me your questions. Otherwise,
I want to thank you, Zeenat. This was amazing. And I'm so happy you joined us. And I'm so happy we were able to finally have you as a guest. We've been wanting to have Zeenat since May and June. So this is exciting, and I think we all need it. And I think Ida has a question. So Ida, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, hi. And I'm sorry, I'm off camera because I'm, doing Uber duties tonight. Anyway, thank you so much. This was great. And I have a question around the kids. So you follow all the steps, you do what you've suggested. How do you make sure that your kids follow through on it? Because I find myself being like you mentioned, you were at the beginning, you're organizing and decluttering and doing everything around the house, and then 2 days later the kids have not done anything to service you. So how do you engage them or enroll them or bring them along so that they are also part of the keeping things organized around the house?
right. So we organizers have talked a lot about this, because it's one of the things that holds moms back a lot. When your kids are very young, it's not, you can't expect them to put their toys away. But as we all know, as in my days, it was Barney. Barney would tell you it's time to clean up. And so those are the types of things that they do, very small things that they do. When your kids get older, they have to see what the results are of being organized, of having an organized home, how it makes you feel. It's a conversation when they're older about your well-being. You as the mom in the house, it's really frustrating, or I feel really, it's the I feel, and if you guys can help me out by doing this. And again, you start small. I tried to get my boys to fold their laundry and put it away a couple of years ago, like this. I just folded and put it away, you guys. And of course that wasn't happening. I had to take it step by step, tiny step by tiny step. So the first thing I did is I folded all the laundry and brought it in a basket to their room, and they put it away. Next, they had to come and get it from the laundry room and take it to their room and put it away. Now they bring and they do their own laundry, and I put it in the dryer and I fold it, but they take it and they put it away. Next is going to be, guys, you can do your own laundry there. If you take your time to fold it the way you need to fold it, to put it away. The other thing is expectations. And I don't know how old your kids are, but if they're at an age where they can do some things on their own. There are also expectations about how they're going to do it. They're never going to do it like you. My kids will never make their beds like I want them to, but the covers are pulled up. You know, it's a big, you know, one child does it very neatly. The other one just kind of pulls the thing up and it's okay, but it's fine. It's a habit that that's now ingrained. They wake up, they pull those sheets up, easy. And I also made it super easy, super simple. The toy room, when they're younger, but they can do some things, again, you have to make it super simple. You can't have, you know, bins of only for this and one bin only for this and one bin only. That's not realistic. Just have a bin and they throw everything in there. Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, my kids are not that young. They're preteen and teenager, and it's a disaster, but you know, we keep fighting the good fight.
And it's really conversation. And the more you guys talk about it, and again, I mean, I know it's frustrating, but talking about it without the frustration, without the anger, it's more about, hey guys, this is how I'm feeling. Let's try this. You know, if you guys can put this away, it would help me out a lot. Help out the family or to help out whatever. And it's yeah, it is a battle. It is a battle, but it'll get there if you stick with it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, ladies? Oh, I learned a lot, Zeenat. Thank you so much. Super exciting. By the way, in the chat, you have Zeenat's calendar if you want to schedule the free 10-minute private conversation with her. And there's also for you to register in the Goddess Wellness Club. It is free. And we have a lot of things that we share, very valuable. If you're not in the club, there's a lot of valuable, super information that we share. Like Zeenat was explaining, we have the free challenges every month. There's a lot of accountability, a lot of great support. We also offer classes from Monday through Friday. We have work, I don't want to say HIIT because people get scared, but it's strengthening classes, because we do know that as we get older, we lose muscle, and the only thing that will protect our bones from breaking later on is to strengthen our muscles. So we do that, and we have yoga, and it's a mix of a fusion that Lindy does amazing of yoga and Pilates, which is also great for strengthening, for balance, and for everything else. So we do offer that. And like Lindy was saying in the beginning, a reset that we do at the end of every year, but it's good to start practicing these habits that we try to share with you from now, so that you don't go in a shock in January with too many not changes, really, it's simple changes, because we are all about simplifying our lives too. I don't know if Lindy, you want to say anything else? Amy: working with Zeenat on my home was the best decision I ever made. Thank you for this webinar. It was great. Thank you, Amy. That's awesome.
Sí, hablando, talking a little bit about stress and everything that causes stress in your life, it gets you away from reaching your goals to be healthier. So that's why we're doing yoga at night at 8 o'clock. The name of the class is Rest and Repair. And the purpose of that class is to lower the cortisol level. So imagine if you start to implement what Zeenat teach us today, and then you start to do things just to try to make you feel better. And then you start to implement like healthier eating. And that's what the Goddess Wellness gives you, is the accountability, is the coaches right there working for you without any cost, except for the classes. It have a kind of a cost, but it's not any expensive at all. So everyone can pay for that. And but the good thing is that we are going to start a new month. And I love that because then that means we're gonna start a new challenge. And I want you to invite all of you. We're gonna do a live by the 30th of October or the 1st of November, where you can see what's going to be the next challenge. It is always like Zeenat said, it's like just going for a walk, maybe a 2 miles walk, and then do like kind of exercises for the core, simple exercises that everyone can do. It won't take you more than half an hour, and you can try to do it 3 times a week. And that's health. That's your heart needs that, your mind needs that. So try to take all of what we are trying to teach you and make it part of your life. And it's habits, but you need to plan. You need to make a schedule. You need to, it has to be important for you. Don't wait until your doctor tells you that you have any illness. Don't wait until that to do something for yourself. Try to implement like tomorrow all of these habits. And those moms out there, you have to start to make your kids responsible for their actions. And that's part of being a good mom. You don't have to put a fight, but you can try to do it one step at a time, like Zeenat is saying. Like lately in life, they're gonna thank you for that. So thank you so much, Zeenat, for being here with us.
Thank you.
If someone needs on the chat, there's like Calendly, and that's where you make the appointment for Zeenat. Okay.
And if you have to go, because I know that we've been an hour already, if you have to go, but you are interested in joining the Wellness Goddess Club or having that conversation with Zeenat, just contact any of us, Lindy, myself, Zeenat, and we'll definitely, send you all the documentation that you need to fill out. It's not a lot. I said documentation, that sounds like stressful. It's not, it's just one little paper. And then we'll get you started, okay?
Good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Zeenat. Do you want to say anything else? Thank you so much. I have an appointment with you. I'm all for the meal prep. I need to the work on my kitchen.
Oh, good. I'm there.
Good. Thank you, girls. Thank you, Goddess, for being here.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you, Zeenat.
Bye, bye, Zeenat. Bye, chicas. Cuídense mucho. Un beso.
Gracias.
I think it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I was worried that it's so boring.
No, you know what? The information was so important and relevant that there was no time for boring. And I think everyone felt the same way because we stayed at 21, 22 the entire time. And the ones who would leave, I think it was a mistake because they would come back on.
Yeah.
So that's a really great sign.
No, and I have a few tests that say me, please send me. I need to look at it again. For me, for example, my own experience, I was always thinking like, what I'm doing, what do I have to do? Oh my God, this is here, this is there. So I think that there's like a thinking
process
pattern working right there, yeah.
Okay, well, good. I mean, I'm glad. And thank you guys again for this opportunity. I like to do this. I like to share what I've learned because, wow, I mean, it made a big change in my life. So
yeah.
So,
awesome. No. I'm super excited that we were able to finally do it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you.
Okay. Bueno. Have a good night, all of you.
Right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Oye, Zeenat, where do I send me the Calendly link
For yours, yes.
for mine? Yeah.
I'll text it to you now.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.
Bye.